Hi guys, and welcome back to Chip's Green World. This week we're talking about rust with style and how adding a little bit of rust to the garden can add a whole other level of interest, like these very large steel rusty obelisks we added to the courtyard last year. These completely changed the feel of the space, giving height and interest, and still looking as good today, if not better, than when I first fitted them. And the birds absolutely love them, like a little playground for them. Or maybe you could try a little rusty urn, putting it on a little display table, like this one. Which brings us nicely on to our rustic, rusty railway trolley, or mill trolley, can't decide. And I thank you all for your advice and thoughts on the mill trolley, and I've decided to take your advice and leave it as rustic as possible and as natural as possible. But that will be in a future episode. This week we're working on a different rustic element to the garden, which will be going here under the new potting shed window. It should finish the area off beautifully and add an extra element to the garden. So, what am I talking about? Let's have a look. Here it is. Our rustic trough. I had this specially made, and I've been spraying it all week to get it all rusty, as when it came it was steel. So I've been spraying it with salt water every other day to get it all lovely and rustic, ready to fit today. And of course the element this will be adding is water, but hopefully not rusty water. So although it looks beautiful and it reflects the sky lovely, I don't think the plants will like it, and we might get fish, and they definitely won't like rusty water. So how are we going to get around that? And that will be our first job. So into the potting shed, get the tools and the equipment I'll need. And the keen eye among you will have noticed I've got a silver door on the potting shed. That's because I've started the installation, and that vlog will be coming soon. Right, on to our rusty water problem. So here it is, the pond liner. I had this spare from when I was doing the town garden. So I'm going to use a third of this to line the pond. And what I'm going to do is make the pond liner into the exact internal measurements of the trough, and then just slip it in. Then this will solve our rusty water problem. So let's do that. And there we go. One rusty trough lined with a pond liner. Let's put it in place, see how it looks. The rustic colour is looking absolutely fabulous. I think there's something missing. I think I know exactly what it is. We need to raise it up. It's going to need some legs. Yes, I think that's what's missing. So let's go and see what I can find in the potting shed. I've got these offcut timbers. I think they will be perfect. They will give it a slight oriental feel. Cut them down to size, paint them. Perfect. That'll be a job for Gypsy Boy. So let's do that. And there we go. Beautiful paint job by Gypsy Boy. And he has given them 2 coats, so they should be good. So let's get these slipped under 5 inches in from the end of the trough. That should give it an oriental feel. And there you go. That has transformed it completely. Much better. A simple solution to our problem. And what a dramatic change. Just beautiful. So now let's bring in the plants. I've gone with an arrangement of plants in an aquatic basket already, so this one is simple, just pop it in. And the other one will go the other end, and this is a water iris in an aquatic basket also. For now, the day's getting on, so we're just going to put a bit of water in here, and then we're going to come back to it tomorrow, just to keep these plants hydrated. Plus, there's a hosepipe ban comes in at midnight tonight, so this will help us with how many buckets we'll need to put in tomorrow. That said, let's move on to the next day. And it's a cloudy one. Could rain. That'd be nice. No sign of Spud. She must be tucked up in bed. We have buckets of gravel, different sizes, that we've been washing out all morning. We've also been collecting pebbles and a few stones, and we've also got a few bricks at hand. So let's get this rusty trough dressed and looking spectacular. The cobbles I scavenged from the front garden, and the stones were left over from a job I did at the back. We'll need our buckets of gravel, so let's get them. And the bricks I'm using are from the driveway, the holes that I made for the trees and the climbers. So repurposing. That said, let's start the magic. Enjoy. And there we go. What a triumph. And how beautiful does that look? So pleased with how it's turned out. We've yet to get some oxygenating plants to put in the middle. I was thinking of maybe also a dwarf lily. We'll see. I may also fit a solar water pump to filter the water. So maybe then we could get some fish. Just a few. Couple of little fish, maybe. But I'm over the moon. It really has finished the space off. The water's a bit cloudy at the moment, but 24 hours and that should settle. I'm over the moon. And I think a couple of little fish, goldfish, swimming around in there will just be fantastic. Icing on the cake. Maybe Arthur and Martha. I've named them before I've even got them. Well, that must be fate. I'll have to get them now. So, that's it for this week's vlog, guys. I hope you've enjoyed. A special thank you to the patrons of the channel and all the new subscribers. Thank you for your support. Hope you have a great week, and I will see you soon. Okay, bye now.